I'm retarded.
No one bats an eye. If I say something, then I'm fucking stupid.
Don't worry, I speak my mind.
It's okay. Dare to be fucking stupid, as Weird Al says.
Yeah.
He doesn't quite say all of it, but he does say some of it. Tell me, Nutchucks, just how fucking bad is that beer?
Okay, so to start off with this, though, I'm going to let you know this you buy Samuel Jackson's Bonfire.
Sam L.J.
Sam L.J.
And
Samuel
just like his
L.
characters,
Jackson.
it's rough, gritty, and will probably shit down your throat at any moment in time.
Shit down your throat!
Dear God, it is horrible. It actually smells like burnt firewood. I'm assuming that. I don't know how Bonfire Blonde's made. I bought a variety pack of these Samuel Adams. And this happened to come with it. Everything else, the
Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest, the Boston Lager, the Maple, and there was a caramel one in there. Those were all really good. This Bonfire Blonde, on the other hand, is god-awful.
Does it make you feel things? Negative things? Angry fucking
Yeah,
things?
I would much rather lick a donkey ass than drink this beer. But because I'm one of those people that never waste beer.
Well, you told me that you would rather... It tastes like ash and burnt wood. So
It does.
You would rather lick a donkey ass, which to you is worse than eating burnt wood.
It is.
Let me know the head of that. Let me see how bad it is. Because the first one did not offend me at all.
But the second one might.
I mean, I don't think beer can offend somebody.
You can.
I think it can.
I've been offended by beer.
Oh, you have?
Friend of the show,
Find the whitest guy
Conovan-
with the biggest belly.
Conovan has by far been offended by beer. He poured one out disgustedly in the sink and felt sad about it, but also justified. And what do we got going on over here, Mr. Coinbeener?
Oh, I have two people building a very big barrack structure. Pretty quick timing.
What game is it?
Sounds logical.
This is Company of Heroes. Company of Heroes, if anyone ever heard, World War II. Basically a strategy skirmish game. Command squad base. Click, move your men, order your people. Very resource management oriented, yeah.
Your resources are requisition, ammunition, fuel, and mans. You must need more mans.
I'm guessing this is a guy who has a machine gun. I'm guessing this is infantry, and from the scope here, this guy would be your sniper. Which a sniper. The one thing that's not
You
German.
need a machine gunning.
So what I'm going to do, obviously, I have the enemy in one corner here. I have allies, which is the yellow.
look over
I
there,
have
what's
red
going on there?
here, which the allies are shooting. Look at them. They already have jeeps. You believe how quick this goes?
Yep.
The enemy already builds the stuff they need. And in about 5 minutes, you're going to see them with tanks and bombs.
Do me a favor. Hold on Alt and pan around, because this looks beautiful.
I just got a question.
Yeah. Zoom in.
I mean, I know the Germans were pretty stupid, but I was 99.9% sure they never stood out in the open of a bridge and just kept firing at a jeep.
No, they did not, but computer AI did.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a bunch of that shitty beer you don't like.
They probably did.
They're like, we're done with this.
Like, my life is worthless now. I had that beer. Like, I'm just going to jump off this bridge and into this pond.
They gotta go do the Harry-Carry. So Mr. Coin will be driving the forces of the Wehrmacht behind in the background, with resulting sounds of pounding rain and Sturmgewehrs going off, and Nebelwerfers and whatever the fuck a PR is.
So my objective, well, look at this. My allies have obviously taken
Oh,
this.
that face. He fucking hates it! But you must finish.
Indeed. I know from here on out I'm going to... The other two
Coin,
bottles
what are
I
you
got.
drinking over there?
I am drinking the regular old Heineken.
Yeah, that's a classic.
It is.
Schlitz, Platz, Heineken. That's the order.
But you know, I never understood your problem with Heineken.
I have nothing against Heineken. I just like to give you shit.
So you're just jealous because I drink the good beer.
No, you don't have a Pabst in your hand
I
anymore.
drink the good beer.
Okay, so I'm not exactly poor. Pabst is when I'm poor. And I'm feeling a little ghetto.
Pabst is a great cheap beer, sir. That is the top of the line cheap beer. Fuck Bud Light. Fuck Miller Lite.
The choice ambrosia of skinheads.
Okay, so have you ever had, like, let's say...
Thanks for complimenting me with skinheads there, bud.
Well, you used to cut your hair pretty short.
I do,
And you
actually.
have a pasty complexion, you come from the south. What more need I say?
I don't wear a white cloak on my spare time.
No, but you got a wife beater.
I do. I do have wife beaters. So, I'm fucked. So,
Don't forget the facing coin. You can make your troops face with the right mouse button hold down.
go back to the fire there. You can light the forest on fire.
No, this is actually the scenery, if I'm correct.
Yes.
I was going to say Smokey the Bear is going to cry himself to sleep at night knowing this.
Smokey the Bear has never faced Stalin shelling.
It's very true.
You imagine though, like even Band of Brothers gives you somewhat of an idea what it's like for just explosions, trees exploding in front of you, the loud noise, the flashing, the fog, the Battle of the Bulge episode basically.
Yeah.
In the snow. When I think they were technically in German. Someone's more than welcome to correct me.
They crossed the Rhine, they pushed through, and then Hitler did a counteroffensive, but the Bulge held, and they
Patton kind of saved them a little bit.
Yeah.
Broke through the line, but
don't let the airborne hear you say that; they'll fucking kill you.
No, the Armored Corps did nothing. Completely unrelated point, but to the idea of detritus, debris in the eyes and shocking troops, just by running a table saw or a bandsaw or the plywood saw, if you get crap in your eye, it takes you out of the action immediately. So if you're under fire, there are bullets flying, very fast little projectiles fired from distance hammers, we call guns, chip things away. That can demoralize a troop almost immediately. So I was very pleased to see that in Overwatch, the majority of characters have some kind of face cover or dust cover. Just something to keep their eyes shielded while they're in the action. It's a tiny little move, but I like it. They chose just a little more care about the combat that they're going to be facing. Because there will be bullets. Also giant hammers and swords, but that's beside the point. Yeah, drive through that. Isn't it so pretty?
So imagine, of course, I'm back in when it comes to military warfare, I'm big Napoleonic times. Naval warfare.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
And
Shit's getting real.
they're gonna get these guys. So
You hope.
Front facing only.
naval warfare, wooden ships, cannons, black powder. Just imagine. It gives you an idea. And there's a few movies, books. Best describes it. Just wood flying, splinters. I mean, that's where, at the time, Black and Medicine, they have to cut their arm off. They had a big splinter, and it gets infected.
Got nothing to cure it.
Just imagine going through, let's say, about 12 to 24, even more, but 12 to 24 cannons just going straight at your ship and just exploding through. Not even exploding, just tearing through wood.
Stop blowing holes in my ship!
So you have the powder just burning your eyes, most likely. The wood splinters going everywhere. Looks like he killed these guys. And the loud noise. Stuck on a ship, that could sink easily. That is some shell shock right there.
It is.
It is.
Once it loses buoyancy, loses containment, and the people aboard the ship can die. So badly. From any kind of infection. Again, I'll bring up the movie we like to refer to quite a bit. Paul Bettany got shot by crewmen. That wasn't expected, but the man wanted to shoot himself in Albatross.
What are we talking about?
Master and Commander, as always.
Yes, that is true.
Like, let me see this bird. Fuck, you shot me! I did not expect to get shot by a musket on my own ship and my own crewman.
Especially at that distance and how inaccurate a musket could be. The ball just going, that's pretty bad luck.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, crew that right now. Take it. Take your water.
There we go. Which I only have 2 people, so.
Oh, you have an experience point, sir. You should probably allocate that.
So, there is a lot of allies, if you haven't noticed, and I think I'm going to go straight for Blitzkrieg. I need some people.
Okay. Go hard, go fast.
I'm actually going to save it, because really I want the Urban Assault, or even a Blitzkrieg.
Blitzkrieg!
But either way, I'm not going to spend it right now. You never want to spend it. Don't get eager, don't...
What, are you playing Dead Space all of a sudden? Never spend your last point?
No. You have to conserve.
True. Oh, we do. We truly do. To the point where if people start watching, you just get upset at us. We just refuse to get cooler guns. I'm sorry. It's kind of a problem.
Kind of the game closest I've played to this would kind of be like Age of Empires.
You and your fucking Age of Empires. Yes, you're right.
Yes.
You're right. This does have that. Now let's also posit that this game is much more about the war action than the pretense of farmers and gold miners and swine herders and researchers.
Yes.
Age of Empires is still... The notion of empire, this has been explored in Civilization games. It's very, very Western-centric, because you win by taking all the shit. A lot of cultures would disagree with you, but the wealthy people are wealthy everywhere, so really they're kind of okay with that. The notion of empire is you expand, you take, and you put down any kind of opposition. So Age of Empires highly encourages you to build pikemen and knights and musketmen if necessary.
True.
You build wonders to awe and shock people, saying, oh fuck, we can compete with that. Look what they built. I can't even see that high. I can't even read that high. I'm illiterate. Help me, gods. So Age of Empires has always been a game about building shiny buildings, but quickly scaling up everything to the Bronze Age and the Steel Age and the Gunpowder Age. Civilization is more of this, but of course slower because it's turn-based. When you have a game like this is already firmly in the war setting, so there's no alternative. There's no pretense of, hey, why do we not build guns? Because we're at fucking war. Build the gun, shoot the man.
So,
Go ahead.
oh, I'm just...
Shell everything.
Yeah. I can't...
Is that a sniper team? That's cute. Mortars.
I don't know. I actually... Turn-based games are a boner killer to me.
Turn-based,
Sometimes I like it.
Like RPG game? Yeah, like
No,
Total War.
Like Civilization.
The biggest thing, Total War, turn-based, is... Yeah. So, here I am, especially the older ones. Here I am waiting 20 minutes for the 50 factions that...
Your poor Jeep.
Yeah, no, he's taking a beating, but he's just knocking everything out.
Not from the rear facing, he's not.
He's about to go down in a second.
I think your own team just took him out.
Exploding.
But anyway, turn-based game. So
Boner killer.
I don't mind them, but sometimes I don't want... I mean, I want real time.
Like this?
Yes,
Well, real time is
exactly.
frantic, and you have to make sure you have access to all the things. Now, for example, you're mostly scrolling around. You're not making use of a lot of quick commands, quick clicks, or save locations.
Yeah, I just let the allies do it.
Right, that's advanced usership, and that's fine. If you have enough support to cover for your inattention, let's say, then that's comfortable. Turn-based games give you the simulated notion of, I will have all the time in the world to make my decisions and plan a few turns ahead, and then execute them as they go. So it's more chess-like. The joke being that checkers seems more like a real-time game because you rarely super contemplate the move. You have between 1 and 8 moves available, and you do it. And then you react to it. RTS is fun. You guys haven't played too much. You played Age of Empires.
Yes.
So you know what it's like. You get a big mob of knights or swordsmen or whatever.
Or automobiles that just destroy everything by typing in
Or
a
you're a
code.
fucking cheater, yes.
Yes.
Tuck, tuck, tuck. I know. You maintain Age of Empires 2 as your favorite. I maintain
Yes.
3 as my favorite.
I never had a
Coin,
computer that ran it good enough. So it was...
Well, it's in my collection, and this computer can run it, so...
I definitely know that. I tried playing 3 when it first came out. That was a game that I wanted for Christmas when it came out, so I got it. But when you have a computer that's running off of Windows 96...
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah, it's not going to operate very well.
Well,
Yeah, I
even
played one of the first Age of Empires.
Age of Empires 1 is really good, too. It also has the same cheats as the second one.
it's important to note, yes.
That's one good thing, too.
Well, see,
sometimes.
that tags a different sort of desire within you, which is you just want to see a cool thing smash apart all the pretty shit somebody else built.
Oh,
with
no, I
painstaking effort.
enjoy... So what I would do is, if I just wanted a quick game, and like, I'll save it, and then I'll play it real, and then I'll go back to the save, and then load it back up, and then do it cheap. Like, I'll do this in 15 minutes or less. Poof, wipe it out. Originally, I'll sit there, I'll spend hours. I used to spend 6-7 hours playing one map.
Sure.
And
Once
I
upon a
enjoyed
time,
that.
we were kids with no fucking responsibilities.
Had a weekend to ourselves and a whole lot of internet porn. You can get a lot of things done.
No, this is pre-porn, though.
Age of Empires 2? I
Yeah.
played it when I was about 12, so porn just came out on the internet.
Well, that's completely sabotaging yourself as far as playing games.
Was-
There's 2 different joysticks, sir. You can't do them all at the same
Are
time.
you telling me that you're going 100 kernel on me right here? If you're having sex, you're not playing Age of Empires?
No! PC games are my pussy.
Ah, that's what I thought.
Man the fuck up and play those games.
But yeah, I,
Jacking off equals minus kills. Keeping in the pants plus kills. Yeah, baby.
I'm pretty sure they heard that.
I
didn't
hope
look
so. That was epic.
I
But,
think it's fair to call this a Grimecast.
Oh yes, this is very, very much so. I do like the concept though that you can cross these bridges. It'd be a lot better to me if you...
Can you blow them up? Can you
Yes,
shell them until
that's
they're
what I
destroyed?
wanted to do.
In a mission, you can.
Try right
Yeah,
now.
in a
Take
mission.
your mortar crew, force fire that bridge until it breaks.
That bridge you're crossing to take this spot, you better go kill your own mortar crew by blowing that bridge up.
I do have to ask you, do you ever like manually set the facing of your machine gun crew to set the
Yeah,
guard arc?
you saw me just a minute ago. Well, I set the whole troops. I just go... Oh, and this is important. You could just...
Yeah. I think the MG should be able to get its
Right
own,
there.
like on like an
There
arc.
we go.
There we go.
That's
That's
how
the
you
one.
do it, right
yeah.
there.
Maybe behind cover. Well, the wagon was pretty good actually.
Yeah, let's see. There.
See,
there
it's
we
a
go.
tiny thing that I love. Now, if you take, let's combine the topics we had so far. Empire, Total War was one that was kind of divisive because you had a few bricks of heavily armored knights smashing into each other, and more about people in column formations or bar formations firing muskets at each other. So you had horse, you had some infantry, but for the most part you had, well, the infantry was guns, not
Yeah.
swords anymore. As such, the game was much more about placing the troop in a certain place, making sure their arc was correct, and wheeling them appropriately so that the maximum exposed area of fire was there, prepared for the enemy to cross into while they were still maneuvering, as opposed to just waiting for them to wander and get shot. So when you fight against the natives, who are all about tomahawks and light cavalry, it'll be, if we're prepared to face them that way, they're dead. If they flank us, we're toast. We have a bayonet or two, but this is not going to go well.
Yeah.
This ain't no Battlefield 1.
They're going to go talk to Abraham Lincoln.
They are. They are. It's important.
Yes.
Well, this predates Lincoln, but it's fine. The guy has some cool ideas.
I've only played a little bit of Empire. I've mainly played
Me too. I haven't
Rome
played
2.
much.
The only reason I played it was because of Beener here, and he...
Beener loves his grand strategy. I think he wants to be a dictator. I think...
Rule the world like Stewie.
Yeah, but I'd rather see a man that's driven to succeed, like Pol Pot. Somebody who really works hard
then
for
eradicate his
world.
own country. Like, we're just going to kill
Yeah,
everybody.
you can stop killing them. Nah.
Okay,
No, you
so-
can stop. Nah, bro.
It's like, you want to be educated? Dead. You want to have a wife? Dead. You want to live? Dead.
That's a work ethic and high standards. Go ahead.
Yes.
Some of our audience might not know this game because it has a lot of bugs, had a lot of potential, but yet it was just like, who cares?
Oh, I think it fucking succeeded, actually.
You're not knowing what game I want. I actually
Oh,
played.
not this game.
Not
You said this
game.
game. Not the
No,
one
I'm
we're watching
sorry.
right now.
No, not this one.
Okay.
No, this game was great.
Sorry.
The game, and I love military warfare, political, just run the world.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want to be that guy that just freaking, like, Warhammer. I just want to be the beast that just destroys everything. Just straight apocalyptic freaking style destroy. So,
Oscar's Wrath.
one game was Geopolitical Simulator. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Not many people know it, and it literally is a simulator.
Okay. No. Yeah,
Where you actually do have to strategize. You have to do trade. You have to do foreign policy. You have to run elections. You have to, I've actually had my people break into the Republican National Convention, just like Nixon, or well, vice versa. But
Yeah,
he
the
broke
others.
into the right one. He broke
Yeah.
into the DNC. But anyway, so that is. You will spend hours if you have to bomb, you have to go to the UN. It's a simulator, but yet you have to actually strategize because it is real time, not turn-based. So you do have to strategize. And another one was another strategy game that really got my jollies off was Total War, especially
Those are
Empire.
very different things.
Those are
Two
completely
different
different things.
In terms of global violence, they're the exact same strategy, but in terms of presentation
Well,
to
here,
the player,
Geopolitical Simulator
Yeah.
will have all countries in the world.
yes.
All. Every
Yeah,
single
yeah.
one of them.
It's the current
governments,
footprint.
military.
Yes.
In current terms. Now, Empire. Now, think about it. So, you do have turn-based.
Empire is 300 years back. Yeah.
Not just Empire. You have Shogun. Well, they haven't done anything past the
600 years?
1900s.
Sure.
Shogun was in the mid-1800s, so...
Give me the Battlefield 2142 equivalent of Empire or Total War.
Shogun.
Space War Total. No, 2142, like in the future. Like we make some pretend country borders based upon current political affiliations and project them in the future, and then we have high caliber infantry and all sorts of drone warfare and mech shit.
Warhammer 40k. Pretty
Before
much.
that, because Warhammer 40k, we don't care about natural continents. We don't care about political affiliations. It's Empire or dead. Imperium of Man, or we will level you and the survivors will be integrated. God, I love 40k though. It's so stupid and so full of itself, and it's beautiful. I adore it. Hang on. Well, Skirmish Face, get the upgrade. Go to your house. Go to your big house. Big
I've
Mama's
quite
house.
enjoyed Dawn of War, though, the game you put onto me.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be more. Don't you worry. There's gonna be more.
I've,
But Dawn of War it was the first good, and this is blasphemy for the mid-90s, but the first good RTS version, real-time strategy version of Warhammer 40k, which is a turn-based game. Now, converting turn-based to real-time, kind of tricky. And I feel like they pulled it off, because you had some base management, which was, buildings are not really a thing in 40k.
yeah.
You have your army list, you deploy your army within your phase, within your area. Actually,
StarCraft. That's all I gotta say. StarCraft.
hang on.
StarCraft.
Fuck that shit, hang on.
We'll get back to you.
Remember what you told me about Battlefield 1's rush mode, the deployment area? The exact same rule applies to normal 40k games. Your army starts in a small area and you begin to travel over the map. And it's all about whose ranges of fire are going to intersect whom first. And melee units move faster, so it's all about just kind of baiting your opponent, diving in, spoiling their shooting range, and then doing what you can. So making it into a real-time game, you suddenly got to see static miniatures of Space Marines running forward in formation, taking cover if they could, and then using bolter fire to mow down orcs. And that was beautiful at the time. The sequels have changed this up a little bit. It's more about an action hero simulator. But the idea of the strategy game, that was pretty cool. Now, with that, base management, not a thing in the tabletop game, but fairly important for a video game visual language. Because where do the units come from? Well, if you count off the series, Space Marines deploy from orbit. They drop them down, drop pods, and they put them down. Orcs, pretend they breed really fast. Or maybe just pop into being because orcs are like that. Chaos also pop into being because their gods ascended to it. Everyone else, drop pods and deployments. So you have a fleet in orbit contesting area. So you have terrestrial warfare, like Empire in a sense. That truck is getting fucked up. With forces that are borrowed from other fleets. It's all about expending the reserves you brought with you across the stars to destroy your opponents. So when you have a 40k situation, it's mostly about scorched earth. You are not really concerned about the safety of anyone else. You bring world-ending weapons.
Sins of a Solar
Empire, yes.
Yeah, and Gemini Wars.
Kind of
And AI Fleet Command.
We can talk about those games separately because this is a different thing, but yes. That's where you say, I want that star.
They're cousins.
The star has 8 planetoids. Fuck those planetoids, I want that star. Wipe them out if you have to. I want the energy source.
Yeah, the resources.
But that's way different than,
let's
fight over this patch of land where these people live that they call their own. This is not about sovereignty. This is about, I need that fucking heavy metal inside that star. I'm going to mine that shit. Also, it's a very cool watermill. Now, you were saying something about 40k in your impression. You liked Dawn of War. You like the second one. We were playing Retribution. This is Dawn of War 2 as expanded into Retribution, which was similar to what happened in Dawn of War 1 when it went towards Dark Crusade and Soulstorm. To explain, the first 2 games were very much about Space Marines. Those are the heroes. Yes. In Skirmish, you can play the other races, but it's all about their story. That's fine. But Soulstorm and Dark Crusade changed it up, where you had a watered-down but accessible campaign for all the other playable races. They realized Space Marines are cool, but 20 missions of Space Marines gets a little bit boring. The Imperial Guard were integrated, and they were actually very accurately portrayed in the game, because the Imperial Guard are fucking helpless. I mean, the individual infantryman gets pulped by everything in the world, including a bit of wood chipped off from a cannon blast. It's a person, it's a guy with a gun that is called a laser gun, a last gun, but is a little better than a flashlight, all things considered. Whereas the Space Marine is a 7-foot-tall warrior and sophisticated power armor that's going to obliterate as much as it can with its training, experience, and superior gear. So when the Space Marines arrive, the Imperial Guard goes, thank fuck, we might live through this. So the whole campaign is about trying to put down / save a regiment that's been corrupted. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that chose the Imperial Guard.
I always
in Retribution. Now, let's try to put this on scale. The first games, the Imperial Guard, you had large units, like bigger squads than almost anybody else, except for the orcs. Huge lines of laser fire. That's cool. Just shooting and firing and everything, hoping it's brought down by a massive fire. So a Space Marine gets not up to anything, but 100 last guns will find their mark and just smelt them into slag and shit. In the first game's model, your hero was the Imperial Commander, not quite the one that you saw in your game, with the bionic arm and the sniper rifle. He actually had gauntlets that had both power claws and a bolter strapped to it. So he's the guy running the fort going, I'm going to fuck you up! He's still just a dude. He has a very cool flak jacket, he has powerful gauntlets, he is a dude. Compared to the other enemies in this universe, he's pretty damn squishy. But the balls on this man... Like, I think you can unlock a cigar as one of the signature items that he gets. The campaign progressed through a series of objectives where your leader unit and his retinue... Whoa.
That was nice.
Cool boom. Cool boom. They would become more powerful with both numerical and aesthetic upgrades. So, lots of fun. Lots of goodness there. Now, Dawn of War 2 returned to the same chapter from the first game, the Blood Ravens, who have had a lot of dealings with chaos and a lot of bad blood with their controlling forces, because the chapters of Space Marines are still technically beholden to the Emperor of Terra. Beholden to the Emperor. Shut the fuck up, man. We'll get to that. It's a whole different series. It ripped off Games Workshop. It ripped off Dawn of War. Not Dawn of War. Warhammer 40,000. I love StarCraft for different reasons. We'll get there. Now, Blood Ravens. Space Marines. Try telling a man who is 8 foot tall, because he's gotten bigger over time, just because... with a century of combat experience and superior technology, try telling him, yeah, your boss says you're not doing a good job, you should probably just stand down. That man's not going to be too receptive.
Yeah.
The notion is Space Marines are in service of the Emperor, and they can be prosecuted through massive force, but there's still a very real division of power scale here. They choose to serve the Imperium, and thank fuck they choose to. Because the ones that don't become Chaos Marines. And, 15 or 20 of them could probably overtake a world that's not prepared for that kind of space defense. Pretend that there are civilizations in space that live pretty happily. Take our Earth. We're not ready for space invaders. We're not ready for that. Nope. So if 20 highly motivated superhuman individuals decide to take over the world, as I'm sure Marvel and DC have done many times in their Elseworld stories, that's just going to happen. Like, we have nukes and guns. Nothing takes. They can outsmart and outflank you and do all this stuff. So it's just a matter of playing space whack-a-mole. Oh, you hate that beer. You hate it. It's great.
Oh,
Real
God.
quickly, side
Yeah,
note,
go for
I
it.
had a great coworker.
You say StarCraft again, I'm going to pop you.
I had a great coworker that explained to me about Marvel. You have about 100 different characters on Marvel.
Yep.
And a
Basically-
1,000
Sure,
different
sure.
universes.
Basically all in the same city, though.
Yep.
Yeah, New York.
And yet, when something bad happens, there's only one superhero. Where's Spider-Man? Where's the Avengers? It just-
Marvel takes on a very good thing that society forgot.
What is that?
Segregation.
Apartheid!
Do. Hey, why do you think there's no black, Marvel heroes
And
except
DC's
Black Panther?
I'll
and Blade?
take, I'll
And
take
DC's
that
just
burger,
religious.
sir.
And Luke
And
Cage.
sour crops, please.
The big thing is the reason I chose New York was Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and all those guys were from New York.
You write what you know, and they know New York.
They know New York.
Yeah.
So Gotham was based off of New York. The guy who wrote...
But yet, isn't Gotham in New Jersey next to Metropolis?
Hoboken, specifically.
Yes.
it's just all of New Jersey, actually. It's just one
Yeah,
gigantic
we gotta play
shithole.
Max Payne 3. We got it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I insist. That was a good hit. That was a good
was a
hit.
very good hit.
Go ahead and backpedal that. There you go. Micro that shit. Did you know you can shift Q? Did you know that, Mr. Coinbeener?
Oops.
Oh, you fucked that up.
Oops.
You done goofed.
No. As in, hold down shift, and then in your mouse, right-click to move, and then keep doing that backwards in short spurts, so it will just keep on not turning. Like, you can give him a sequential move order, so he keeps backing up the road and never turns around.
Why would... Look, I'm tearing a lot of trees down.
Yeah, that's
you
the
are.
whole fucking point.
I don't want to tear trees down. It's bad for the
Here,
environment.
let me show you a thing, real quick, just a second. Rape!
But that's mainly why. You have them all in one city. Spider-Man, if you look at the new Marvel TV universe, Daredevil has Hell's Kitchen. Luke Cage has Harlem. Jessica Jones is just New York in general. So it's divided up between that. And then you have the Avengers who have, well, wherever the fuck they want to go. They're the fucking Avengers. No one's going to really tell them to stop. And then you have the Fantastic Four, which are right there next to it. In the same little area. Then you have...
It's all Manhattan, and in the building next to the Fables building.
yeah. And it's all... you also got, Professor Xavier's...
That's
Right
a
in
dick
front of that
move.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna block you off, okay?
That's not okay. Okay, I'm going.
But that's the whole thing. They, like you said, they write what they know. They know New York. And then it just happened to fall that way. They didn't really
Well,
get creative.
that's Marvel's aesthetic, but their plots are usually existing religious or fable figures that have powers that they develop into a rapping they can understand. I take some issue with Marvel's understanding of the Norse pantheon, but at the same time I acknowledge this is a story that uses the wallpaper or the skins of these characters for their own plot writing. That's okay. I'd like to see more authentic, that's nice, more authentic Norse flair, if you will.
So,
But I'm kind of okay with it.
if I'm not mistaken, Marvel wasn't the first person to use Thor or any hero like that.
I
believe
think the
DC,
Norse
yeah.
were the first to use
well,
Thor.
I'm saying in comic book.
Sure.
Books.
Well, see, now you're going into proprietary rights and the idea
Well,
that
you
we have a cool story, but we want perpetuity and publishing rights, so we're going to make the same fucking story for 35, 60, 80 years. And we'll keep on changing the aesthetics, but the idea is these characters have a long and standing history. We have the same stories for the first century to a millennium of our lives. You don't have to keep retelling it, but you do because you got to sell issues. So then you have to take a story and water it down to keep selling issues, and I find issue with that. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. Comic books are really cool, but you got to keep making them.
Well, there are different aspects and the reasons why shit like that happened. I mean, you got to look at the 50s and the 60s.
I look at Berserk and the fact that it's still running 30 years on.
Well, yeah. Well, then you look at what happened to them, though, in the 50s and 60s when somebody wrote, God, I can't remember what the book's name is. Psychiatrist wrote that, comic books were causing kids would be evil and juveniles. So, yeah.
Well, it's whatever the new format is.
This is Tracy, and you become a serial killer.
Yes.
Well, what happened was they would get things like Tales from the Crypt.
Watch Dexter. You'll become a serial killer.
Pretty much is how I did. It was like, and they're causing because Batman...
Play Condemned to become a bum fight pricing champion.
Well, he had Superman as a communist, and Batman and Robin were gay, and Batman was a pedophile.
I have Red Sun. I like Red Sun, but I'm a little bit biased.
Yeah, a little bit before Red Sun, unfortunately, there. But that is
Oh,
a good...
really?
Yeah, like 1950s.
I knew... So Superman was a comic before that?
It was a comic,
Wait.
but Red Sun was the Superman.
Kami.
Kami. No, he was not. That's what I was saying. Red Sun was a little after.
After the period of time,
Yeah.
yeah, but it would have been pretty ballsy at the time to write about that.
Yeah, it was true. You would have probably gotten blacklisted.
Yes.
Yeah.
But afterwards, hey, isn't this cool? Isn't this cool? Yeah, and then it's politically disseminated because the average voter may not have a lot of creative liberties at heart.
Well, that was the whole thing, though. In the 50s and 60s, they got limited to what they could write. They turned things, they were like, yeah, we have to make it like
Censorship.
censorship. And they had a self-censor. So in the 1970s, they finally said, fuck it. Like, kiss our ass, we're going to do what we want. And they started doing things about drugs and stuff. And they tried to get more hardcore, and they got a little darker. And
Where's my Batman and Heroin comic?
Batman on heroin?
On heroin?
They have Green Lantern, his sidekick on heroin. Not Green Lantern, excuse me, Green Arrow.
So they need to make something with pill addiction. Just modern.
Modern times.
How would you change
Jessica
the
Jones
question?
on Vicodin.
Jessica Jones, well, yeah.
Wouldn't-
she already
would
has
that
issues
work?
of her own.
Wasn't
So-
Jessica Jones like almost a paramount to a superhuman of Superman fame, where this is a character who can be as strong as the writer requires her to be and can do all this cool shit?
Yeah,
so
but
her
she
only
wasn't.
enemy is morality?
Well, she wasn't really that way. So what happened was that she was super strong. And only what stops her was that she was pretty much mind-fucked by this guy.
Okay.
And then raped.
Physical doesn't work. Use psychological.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then he rapes her,
Sure.
uses her to kill people and stuff. So now her own emotions,
That's
like
pretty
you
powerful.
said.
Must have been good dick. Must have been very good dick.
Yeah, and he's purple, by the way. So you got fucking Barney raping her. Or excuse
Uh-huh.
my language on that, by the way.
Barney 5.
Barney fuck.
Donald Trump in her.
Don Knotts. You got Don Knotts going up in that shit.
Don Rickles.
Well, that's what happened. She has this all, and all of a sudden she gets out of it for that reason. Her mind is so fucking
Oh,
gone.
afterwards, like, maybe I'm not so cool with this.
Because she was a
That's great.
superhero that was like an unknown Marvel Avenger. Like, yeah, I want to be part of the Avengers. Okay, well, we'll give you this small little mission. Go find out what this is. Oh, now you're
Would the Avengers not have said, listen, with your rap sheet, I don't know, this is not a good PR move.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
You do what now? You take drugs and kill people? Listen,
But,
we already have one of those. Okay, Black Panther. Bad enough. Bad enough. Man can't stop with the reefer.
Hey, you know what? They have Squirrel Girl now, so
Squirrel Girl kills gods, is what I hear.
that's my understanding. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's pretty badass.
Well, because people say, like, oh, you're so silly. Oh, God.
She uses the rabbit from Monty Python and the Holy Grail to fuck everybody up.
Yeah, yeah. Of course you would.
Kills everybody. But yeah, no,
They're not
there's
having a good time.
then things got darker, and that's why if you look at like Wolf Among Us, it's done by Vertigo. Vertigo's DC's darker series and
They
stuff.
used to be their own thing, didn't they? And they got
Well,
bought.
no. So what happened was that you had all these people like Alan Rickman and Frank Miller coming in from England, and they were like, look, they're writing these dark, gritty stories. Let's get some of these more of these people in here to write their own stories, but let them do it how they want. So they created the Vertigo line. One of the best people they got from Vertigo was Neil Gaiman, who was the
Yes.
only person who wrote he got an award.
No, he is the only person.
He's the only person.
Neil is just the only person.
He won for Sandman.
Anansi boys!
He did Midsummer's Night's Dream retold through.
Have you read Sandman?
I've only read bits and pieces.
Okay.
I've seen more of the original comics from the 40s that are cheesy than I have of Neil Gaiman stuff, and I know it's really good. I had an old boss who liked them, and but I can't remember the Midsummer Night's
Hi,
Dream.
Jeep. Yeah.
He won an award for that, and I can't remember what writing award for it was. But after that, they were like, comics can no longer win this award. It's not literature. But he's
Right.
really
and
really
video
good.
games aren't art.
Yes, but they had that dark period of time, but those were the ones that were like, hey, here you go. If you want more adult themes, we're going to do this, and then we're going to leave more of a PG-13, almost rated R, for comic books from here on out. So that's kind of what happened nowadays. So I like more along the lines of like Spawn, which is a really good. Spawn is great. I like Spawn.
Did you like
Aesthetically
the movie?
speaking, Spawn is great.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, Michael Jai White didn't do enough kung fu.
Yeah, he. I like John Leguizamo being a fat, short, chubby troll.
John, I'm not the percolator, I'm not the intimidator, I'm not the percolator, I'm the violator.
I like his best role of all time though.
What's that?
Luigi.
Dude,
Over
I had-
Sid the Squid? Squid. Wow. Sloth. But Sid the Squid sounds better. You know what? John, if you're listening,
Placed out for any moment in time. Just let us know.
please, Sid the Squid.
Yes.
Sid the Squid. You know what? Ice Age 8, a weird cosmic wave changes everything. I need you to be a squid. Please, amend my childhood. Grant me this. Pay me this boon.
Dear God, look at those
Be
bodies.
my
fly.
squid now and my kid now.
But yes, Spawn was a great movie. I'm going to get back to the whole comic book thing here for a second.
I rewatched Spawn about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got the movie. I'm not gonna watch it again anytime soon because I mean it was the kind of like the tip of the icebreaker to get comic book movies back up and running. The effects didn't age very well. Crow, Spawn, Blade.
Blade did really
I think
good.
I'm missing one, but
Punisher.
it was.
No, it's a 2003 Punisher.
When was Punisher?
1989.
You're talking about Dolph Lundgren?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Dolph Lundgren's my Punisher.
Not a good movie.
Oh,
Not
no,
a good
sir.
movie.
No, sir. Dolph Lundgren. Any Dolph Lundgren
No,
movie.
because the studios didn't know how to approach comic books. I don't know what the fuck has to do with 40K, but here we are.
We did get to this somehow.
By the way, you have points to spend, please. Please spend points. It's flashing. It is taunting the fuck out of me.
Is it really?
Do it! Do it! Now, okay, so, do you remember, what was the actor's name in The Punisher after Dolph? Before Warzone. The
I
one
can't
in the
remember his
middle.
name. Oops, excuse me.
Not John Travolta. Let's call him not John Travolta.
Yeah,
Not
John Travolta,
Battlefield Earth.
He plays the bad guy. John
Yes.
Travolta plays the bad guy.
Battlefield Earth.
Oh,
That is
Battlefield
a,
Earth.
you know, I never knew this, but that's that whole movie is
Oh.
based off of what the fuck is the guy from Scientology? L. Ron
L.
Hubbard.
Hubbard's?
Oh.
Yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard. That's the book that created Scientology. That's
Yes.
like, oh, that's the whole story of. I'm like, really? Like, I watched that movie when I was a kid.
Did not pick that up.
Yeah, did not pick that up.
Not a theme I was aware of, thank you.
Yeah. Like, thank you for that's fun fact.
So we had these movies in the 90s that were before the movement. I would argue that Iron Man really did change everything by its approach.
I would say Captain America. I'm not talking about the new ones. I'm talking about the ones from the late 80s, early 90s. Those were great.
Where were the
shit
other movies? Where were the other movies?
You've never seen the original Captain America movies from the 80s
I
and
don't.
90s?
I've seen clips. I've seen the movies themselves.
You've never seen...
Why did it take 25 years for it to take hold?
They're great shit movies, sir. These are... So it's just like
Okay,
saying...
well, so Rutger Hauer with Hobo with a Shotgun. That's a great shit film. That's not exactly the Marvel Cinematic Universe launch
that's
that I
like
was looking
saying...
for.
What is it? David Hasselhoff as Nick Shield wasn't a great movie.
David Hasselhoff was the best Doctor Strange I've ever seen. Because The X-Files was just a prequel to... never mind. See, exactly. You just shoehorn anything and anything.
Yes, you can. But no, David Hasselhoff did play Nick Shield originally in a 1993 version of Nick Fury.
Well, because he matched the comic book version of White,
Yes.
White Nick Fury.
Yes, indeed. Now Samuel L. Jackson is Nick
Mm-hmm.
Fury, which is really good.
That was a pretty cool turn. I don't know why they did it, but they did. And
They actually went to him in the early 2000s, like, we want to base this character off of you. He was like, fuck yeah. Well, literally how it went when I
Can
understand
you
it.
make him a character from Pulp Fiction?
Yes.
Yes. Only yes, please.
Can we
Thank
kill
you.
anybody that says what? Yes, you can.
Is the sun coming up? Yeah. Put it on the left.
Really? Who blocks a bridge?
These
Who
guys.
has soldiers?
This is what happens when you put your computer on easy.
Can I
Shoot it.
get through?
Attack ground.
Can
Bridge.
I blow my people up?
Can you upgrade your cannon, please?
Just blow the fucking tank up. Or blow the bridge up.
Resource blitz. Okay, so Marvel Universe characters, vehicles for storytelling from our ancient stories. Stories so old they've made it into the 40,000th year of our birth.
Yes.
So our question is, are there planets in the Emperor's domain that still celebrate the four remains, the ancient myths of Marvel Comics?
Yes.
Because I quite like the sort of like dry humor of, yeah, you know, in the future we think Earth was quaint. That beer hurts. Hurts so bad. Here, let me help you.
There you go. How do you like that? Oh, God.
I'm not saying I like it, just saying I'm helping you.
Thank you. you took some of my burden.
Yes.
That must have been how Jesus felt.
A lot, yeah. He carried a cross while chugging a beer.
He did.
Samuel Adams.
There you go. There you go, Samuel Adams.
That
We
red
just
smoke
gave you the
looks
next
dangerous.
fucking TV commercial.
So,
Yes.
back to 40K. You like Retribution.
StarCraft.
Retribution,
You're dead.
You're done.
Retribution, I love StarCraft. Retribution is the third entry in Dawn of War 2. Dawn of War 2, Part 1, was the tale of more Blood Ravens' misadventures. They were trying to investigate a planet that appeared, I don't remember exactly, it's been a while. Their whole concern in 2 is Tyranids. We talked about Tyranids. You said it was the crazy, wacky spawn creature in the background.
Yeah, it's
in
the
Retribution.
demon. It looks like Satan.
Looks similar to, but legally distinct from, Satan H. Christ.
Yes.
They're related. Jesus!
Yeah, his name's
It's
actually
worse than
one.
I-5.
Yeah.
Come on.
Marginally worse than I-5.
You know there's another bridge on the other side, right?
No, that's a little walkway bridge.
So
Sorry,
Just
investigator.
do what they told you right there. Use the Jesus power and walk across the fucking water.
The conceit of Dawn of War 2 is they have limited time. You have a squad of 4 characters out of 7 that you can have, I believe. So you only play a few at a time. You have your specialists in tactical squad. You have heavy hitters. You have ranged characters. You have sneakers. You have a heavy tank, similar to that treaded vehicle over there. Wheeled vehicle.
Are you kidding me?
We are shitting you not. We are not shitting you right now.
He cannot get that.
Well, it's a footbridge. What the fuck do you think?
You can plow it over.
Show me the decal. Show me where the weight capacity is. Yeah. Why aren't you
a little
amphibious?
too wide there.
Did you not spring for the amphibious features? Anyway, Dawn of War 2, limited time. You're hopping between worlds trying to hold off the Turnitin invasion. We may be able to see this at some point, but it's a lot more about you drop on the map, you have an objective, you go to the same locations a lot, but you have finite resources, finite time. It's all about how strong can you get before it's the end game, in a sense. The expansion, Chaos Rising, predictably deals with Chaos Forces, so you're going from a bioterror opponent, which is the Tyranids, they're just fucking horrifying, to trying to suppress a Chaos invasion of a planet that has been lost to the warp for a long time. It just suddenly popped into being. It was gone, a century and a half passed, or more, and the planet just came back. Let's go investigate that shit, see what happens. And you're dealing with a corruption mechanic where you can get your chapter leaders to become corrupt. Okay, we'll talk about StarCraft in just a second.
Yes.
But you're talking about the Zerg being the Tyranids. You're right. The Zerg were stolen as an
The
idea.
only Zerg I
accept.
accept is Zerg from Toy Story.
Again, similar to, but legally distinct from, that Zerg.
And that's how we transition to other topics.
What, do you want to go to us right now?
Yeah, let's go Disney movies. Let's
Why
do this.
wasn't finished, though?
No,
okay,
keep going.
hang on.
Now, I could see Disney.
So Retribution
Roll the roll.
took away the linear campaign story from the Blood Ravens. Canonically speaking, this is still about their bullshit, the things that they have done that have compromised their chapter and their future. But you can participate as any one of the races now in the campaign that has, let's say, like 20 missions where the vignettes all play out the same. You have some defense missions, some acquisition missions, and you're trying to thwart or take advantage of certain events that happen through this campaign. In the end, it's all about a big, dumb chaos showdown. As you saw in the beginning mission, the Inquisitor, we played as Harvina Birdman, spelled Bitterman, so for me it's okay. We'll run with the joke. It was all
I was
about...
going to ask you, what role do they play in this game?
What role did the Eldar play?
Yeah, the bird people.
The bird people, they are trying to minimize the damage to the galaxy without regard for the species. So their concern is, we want to prevent a chaos invasion because there's demon going to be birthed here. We got to suppress the people, we got to control the orcs, we got to neutralize as many of the Tyranids as we can while taking the fewest losses possible to us. So the Eldar are always about galactic balance and preserving their way of life. It's complete self-interest, but if they let somebody else run amok, they're going to be in trouble. So, selfishly, they want to save the day at the expense of everybody else but them. So the Eldar, the basic Eldar warrior is an ancient creature that has been through a long life, has been a craftsman, an artisan, a father, a lover, a baker, a candlestick maker, and also a fighter. And they go to sacrifice their lives to save their people.
So like Romans and before.
Sure, I'm not even gonna... No, not even the Romans. Just take the elves from Lord of the Rings. Take
Romans
Lord of the
were
Ring
heroes.
elves who have
you
been
gotta think.
ancient and
Also
eternal.
be like the Germans or the Gauls or something.
Stop thinking in human terms. It's beyond that. They're not about cultured people. They're about people who've lived multiple lifetimes and realize, you know what, I've had a pretty full life. I would really like somebody else to have that chance. So I'm going to go die so you don't have to. Maybe they'll live, maybe they won't. But they understand that although they have cool tech, the enemy is endless and they are finite. So they expend their lives willingly. Now,
I do like how the guy plays air guitar though. That's very nice.
the air guitar seems to be pretty potent.
It does.
We've watched the trailer for Dawn of War 3. You saw the penis-headed titans.
Yes, we did.
The Eldar, first of all, the Eldar are a post-metal civilization. Now, when I
Heavy
say
metal?
post-metal.
So they're now on like classical rock.
Post-metal.
Yes.
They don't use metal at all.
Kurt Cobain.
They don't need to anymore. They use
That's what I'm saying. They're in country
crystal
music.
and wraithbone. And wraithbone is a material that interacts psychically with the energetic world. So you saw the Howling Banshees, the ones with big red manes and like howly visors and have swords in their hands. Those swords are not metal. and they shred matter, not because they're sharp, but because they take apart the material plane. So it's not about just being sharp, it's about this interacts with the physical elements in a way that humanity does not yet grasp, and hopefully will never fucking grasp. But that is how advanced they are. All of their shit is old and it's still beyond us. That's how they all work. And they've survived through a series of interspatial highways that we want to get our hands on, but have not managed to yet. So the Eldar are just trying their very best to neutralize the crisis before it happens, because we're all about blowing up the planet. The humanity is ordered exterminatus. Blow up the planet with a fleet, scour the surface, take away everything, we're just going to kill it with fire. And they're like, no, 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 this is not going to stop things. Chaos will prevail. We need to fight on a level beyond this physical plane. And people are like, that sounds fucking stupid. No, blow it up. What's the deal with it? It's in pieces. It's done. It's won. Why should we care? So that is kind of a taste of what the Eldar are all about. And the campaign we'll play, as we'll see more of, will deal with those sort of spy tactics. They're the British forces in this Company of Heroes play.
I'm more of a old...
You're more of an orc player, I know. Take the sax, put it in his face, do this until you win.
I'm more of an old school, Old Testament Warhammer. Because that's where I...
Remember, the joke is, Fantasy Warhammer is a planet somewhere in the 40k realm. Just on its own. But yes, I get it.
When I'm introduced to Warhammer, I start from the beginning, so that's where I'm at right now.
Well, the beginning was 40k. No, it wasn't. Fantasy was first, yes.
Yeah.
You would love Mordheim, I think. Have you heard of Mordheim?
No.
Okay, Mordheim is one city in the fantasy world. And Mordheim is full of ratmen and possession and demons and secrets. And it's all about a band of mercenaries of various walks from Warhammer that have to try and, one, further their wealth, and two, complete jobs in the city. And any game that has insanity points as a mechanic is right up my alley, because I want to see how bad things get under pressure.
So where did the vampires in Total War Warhammer play into effect of the game that we're playing? Not this game right here.
Necrons.
They're Necrons. They're necrophiliacs?
If you have to translate Fantasy Warhammer to 40k Warhammer, then Necrons is the closest.
From what I understand.
It is a little bit. You take the vampires, you take them from the Kemrian desert, whether the Egyptian vampires, and you bury them in tombs, and then thousands of years later, they're the Necrons. Or before, actually, before. Because Necrons are stupidly ancient.
Huh.
Well, I mean, any species that has given up their corporeal bodies to serve a soul lord, and their bodies are mechanical Terminator bodies from, like James Cameron's Terminators, that warp back to base for repair upon death.
T2s?
T2Ks, really. Okay. I mean, they don't even use bullets anymore. They just use Gauss weapons, and the Gauss beams strip away flesh and living tissue and melt armor.
Huh.
Like, they're pretty hardcore. And they just use further creepier mechanical undead things. Science undead. How about that? And then you get to see their gods in the battlefield, and you go, oh, you just break reality, don't you? This is awful. Oh, Mr. Beener, are you about to win?
Yeah.
Call us a victory?
I really don't know how.
He's about to win, and you haven't finished that beer.
Yeah.
I need you to finish that beer.
Oh, dear God.
Take a breath.
Oh,
inhale.
There goes the body.
Exhale.
Like 40 feet out.
Do it. Do it. More. More. You're almost there. You're almost there. Man up. Man up. Man up. Do another one. Yeah. Oh, you did it.
Oh, God, that
Hold
was
it
so
down.
horrible.
Hold it down.
There's
Hold it down.
one game I recommend.
What's that?
Kind of
Just
like
one?
all of the games
One game
you
to rule them all?
recommended, just in
Palm.
one, sort of.
Hubert.
Great graphics.
Sure.
Pretty freaking boring, but yet entertaining. And I'm
Joust.
a really big historic guy.
Knee talk.
Grand Ages, Rome. And they have a medieval one, which I want to play, but yet have
You know what
not.
the greatest game of all time is?
I didn't say it's the greatest game of all time. It's just
Greatest
a good
greatest game
strategy
of all time.
What is the greatest game of all time, Nutchucks?
Custer's Revenge.
What the...
Go online and look that up, guys. You're going to think I'm a sick person.
We know you're a sick
Probably.
person. They don't.
They don't.
They'll find out.
They'll find out.
You need some help.
I live with you. Yeah, I need help.
I hope Trump deports you.
You probably will. I am half finished.
Fantastic! You are victorious! Review the battlefield and pan around and look at your works.
People, that is exactly
despair.
a good example how you pawn something off to your
Yeah.
allies.
E.T.
Eisenhower did.
Yeah.
That was the greatest game of all time.
Crack smoking eggs, Eisenhower. Do you want to look around? Take a picture you're doing there? look at your amazing tanks and peoples. And
Hey, this guy's picking his nose.
half step machine gun, just firing at the ground. Remember your alt key. Don't forget your alt key. Fly flew. Shiggity schwa.
That was the last guy alive. He's like, I'm going out.
That was, yeah, effectively. Every Relic strategy game does this. And Relic began their strategy games with Homeworld.
Abe's Odyssey?
No, Homeworld. We'll have to talk about this a little bit later.
We will.
Homeworld.
Homeworld.
Homeworld?
Rimworld.
Homeworld.
Rim job?
Homeworld.
Hand job?
Rimworld.
Blow job?
Rim.
Home job.
Home job. Gotcha.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a very good inaugural episode of our Grimecast. All of us are a little bit sauced, and everyone's having a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Even Coinbeener, if you can believe it.
Who would have thought?
I would have thought this whole time.
The most
but
narrow-minded, pessimistic jerk in the whole group.
You really are a shitfucker, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
But
So-
we love you. We love you.
Like
Are we going
you.
to keep going?
Let's take a break here and see what comes up.
All right.
This is a good little test here.
It is. So?
We covered a lot of topics, finished none of them, but had a
Nope.
really good time.
Yeah,
I
speaking
killed
of
a
that.
lot of British and Americans.
Yes, you did. It was
did.
glorious.
Especially that last guy. He definitely knew not to fuck with the Germans after that. He lived. He didn't have any body parts blown off, but his ass knew after that explosion. Don't fuck with them people.
Nope.
Well,
With that being said, we're going to get a few more beers. Brown beater.
Brown?
Close.
So wait, he beats you is what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes!
What are you
gotta
guys
do a
doing in
little
your
more.
spare time here? So I'm Nutchucks.
Probably.
Coinbeener.
You guys have a great day.
See you next time.
Yep.